Welcome back to the garage, YouTube. Today our John Deere zero turn saga continues. This is the Z655. In the last video we tore the engine off. It threw both of the rods, made a real mess in the crankcase. So did a little searching on the internet. Was able to come up with this engine. We're going to try repowering it with this. This is a Briggs 25 horse. And according to John Deere, all the engines that they show for this end up subbing to a new number, which is a 25 horse, but John Deere wants about $2,000 for that engine, and I was able to find this one on the internet for about $1,000, brand new. Looks like it's packaged pretty well. So according to the website, the crankshaft and all that should be the same size. I'm hoping our wiring harnesses and our bolt pattern line up. So we're gonna find out. We're gonna see if we can repower this good old zero turn, get it running again, and go from there. So let's start unpacking this engine. So here it is out of the box. 25 horse, 724 cc, made in the USA. Our old engine, it was a 27 horse, but so far everything I've looked at on this engine looks to be about the exact same. So what I'm going to do is measure this crankshaft, just make sure that their description was right. I'm going to measure bolt to bolt, see if our holes are going to line up. But so far it looks like wiring harness, all that is exactly the same. So this should be perfect fitting on this engine. Alright, so we're just going to double check some measurements here. We're going to start with the crankshaft. See, it's a 1-inch crank, was our old one. This is our new one. That also shows 1 inch. And the second thing we're going to check here is our bolt pattern for bolting this to the frame. We got 5 3/4 up there and 7 on the bottom too. So we move over to the old one, 7 there. And 5 3/4 there. So the way it looks, this thing should be able to bolt right on here. We got this all cleaned up down here on the frame. We're going to start mounting this thing on there and get her hooked up and hopefully mowing. Alright, so one more thing to note on this engine. It says it's a 27 horse. It's a 724 cc. And along with this 25 horse here, also shows it being a 724 cc. And according to John Deere, this isn't the right engine for it. But so far everything we've seen on it seems to work. There's the model number of it. So the first thing we notice we got to change here is our mounting bolts. They're drilled to about 0.35 or so. So we're going to tap those out to 3/8, which was the original mounting bolts. I'm thinking they do that as just a generic hole so you can kind of mount it on whatever you need to. So we got the tap set up, and now we're going to grab a 3/8 and tap them holes out. Alright guys, so we're going with 3/8 by 16. Super common standard bolt size. So there's our threads cut there. We got all 4 of them cut. Turned out actually really nice. Well, if only it was that easy. She fits on there and seems to line up perfect. Looks nice on there, brand new one. But yeah, so we're gonna start hooking stuff up. Just got a few wires to do. The 4 mounting bolts, fuel, the clutch, and then that drive belt for the hydros. One thing that was really nice, this new engine came with a new fuel transfer pump there and a new fuel filter. You can see her hooked up down there and already bolted on the side. So all I gotta do is switch the line out down there. we did drain this gas tank out, so we're putting clean fuel in it now, just to make sure we don't have any fuel issues there. Alright guys, so another small little difference we found was the choke. So this one, the new engine is set up to have a secondary choke cable here running it with your throttle hooked up here. Where this mower is set up to, when you put the throttle all the way forward, it runs the secondary lever and engages the choke. You can see this one's riveted in here. So we just got to switch out this bottom bracket to make that be able to work how it should. But yeah, so far, that's all we found that's different on this engine.
Guys need anything?
So another small difference on this engine is our muffler on the old engine had bolts, socket head bolts going up in there, holding the muffler on. Where this new one was shipped with studs, and we didn't have any nuts on hand right off, so we're just going to put in the original bolts. Looks like they're the same threads. Alright, clutch is torqued on. Time for some new oil in her. Dead on. Alright guys, we are officially ready for the first start of this brand new 25 horse Briggs. We turned it over a little bit just to get some fuel up to the carburetor. Alright guys, so we got her up and running. We had to set the base idle up a little bit on it just so it'd idle right. But besides that, she's running good. We engaged the deck all seemed to work fine. So yeah, you can repower it with one of these 25 horse Briggs. Save yourself quite a bit of money compared to what John Deere would want for it. And we're going to take this thing out, do some more mowing with it, finish up a few things on it. Get the engine broke in. I think the tag said something like 50 hours. I don't know if we're going to go quite that much, but we're going to change oil and filter in it, grease the deck up, and yeah, so she is alive, and it's been a good video so far.